life, I'm also warm. So I'm trying to sort of slutty. I'm wearing something. The format of the title looks a little bit weird in the derby sense. I don't mean it to be. But today, so last week I did What Am I Reading Wednesday, and if you watched yesterday, then you'll know that I am still reading those things. Try as I may to drag myself out of the reading hole that I am currently in. I am a slow reader, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Also, one of those books I'm probably not going to finish anytime soon just because it's so dark. Watched last week to figure out what I'm talking about. But this week, I thought I was thinking about doing Welcome to Compass Wednesday again because there was an update and it's sort of interesting, sort of being the opportunity, the key word there for people who don't play Animal Crossing. But I just didn't want to set up the whole streaming situation. So we're doing What Am I Blanking today. And I wanted to talk about what I'm watching. I'm going to try to look at the camera more because I have this tendency to look at my face. But the camera is like I'm looking at you. I forgot to put ice in my coffee. I'm never going to be able to drink this. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, we're going on an adventure. Because I have to be able to drink my coffee. And now you know that I put ice in my coffee because I'm in a rush and I can't wait for it to cool down. And also because, goo, it's hot. Why am I drinking hot coffee? But I just like hot coffee. I just like it. I just like it. Also, you can look at my calendar. That's from November. So I'm on top of things. Just going to pull the ice. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm going to have to set this guy down. You can see inside my fridge. Don't tell anybody. I just need 2 ice cubes. Okay, before Okay. I got my ice cubes, got my coffee. Oh, my nose. Okay, but that one was because there was a hair in my nose. So that one wasn't my normal time to itch the nose sort of compulsion that I've got. But I have a residual itch from the very unfortunate hair in my nose. This has been an adventure. I hope you've really enjoyed sort of your foray into my morning. Ugh. Okay. Welcome. So, what am I watching Wednesday is what we're going to do today. And I thought about turning this into a stream so I could like show you some clips or whatever, but I again didn't want to set that up. So we're doing this instead. And it's pretty chill. If you want to see the clips of what I'm talking about, I'll clip at least the first episode down, or I'll link the first episode down in the description of the video because that's easy enough to do. But so the thing that I'm watching right now, I thought I could go over the things that I've watched over quarantine because that is sort of a diverse array. The first thing I watched in quarantine, literally the first binged series, we binge differently in this house. We watched like 1 episode a day, maybe. The first show we binged entirely in quarantine was an anime called My Hero Academia. It's like Boku no Hero Academia. And we watched, there's 4 seasons out, and they're all on Hulu. And we watched them. I'd heard about it a lot, but I had not watched it. And then his brother and sister-in-law were here in March right before, like right as all the lockdowns happened. So they convinced us to watch one of like the first couple episodes. I think they were like a continued, so we watched the first 2 episodes, and then after that, they left. They went home, for better or for worse, because they went to New York, and we continued to watch them. And we watched them every day after dinner. And so the conceit of this show is that this is in sort of an alternate sort of future-y world where most animes happen, where 80% of humans have some kind of mutation that allows them to have some sort of like augmented power of some kind. They call it a quirk because it's not always a superpower. Like one kid's quirk said he has a tail that he can like manipulate, sort of like a monkey. Like he has another limb coming off his butt and it's furry. Anyway, and in this world where 80% of humans have a quirk of some kind, a lot of people find ways to like use their quirks for economic purposes. You know, they I can't think of a good example that's not like one of the main characters, but they use their quirk in their job, for instance. And then there's a subset of people who do that who are essentially they're superheroes. You know, they become like super strong, super fast. They work out a lot, and they, you know, their whole goal in life is to save people and stop crimes and assist police and stuff like that. But then, and then they generally use their quirk to do so in some way or another. And the TV show centers around this one boy who has always wanted to be a hero his whole life, but he doesn't have a quirk. He's one of the 20% of how he wants to become a hero anyway. And it's like super like anime style, like over the top drama. They're just like this kid who wants to become a hero. He's just constantly crying. Not like he's just like always moved. He's just like always moved about something that's going on, or about he has his personal like idol is a superhero called All Might, and All Might teaches at this school for young people who want to be heroes. And this kid goes to this school, and basically for like the first season, every conversation he has with All Might ends with him crying because he's just so moved by being around All Might. And All Might is sort of a funny guy, but he also has like a tragic, great show. The music is great. We've really enjoyed the there's like at least a different theme song per season. In most of the seasons, I think there's 2 different theme songs per season, which means there's also 2 different end songs per season. They break the seasons up into sort of like their big arcs, and one arc gets one song and another arc gets another song. And they get different animations and all that stuff. And of those, I think the second season first arc has the best set of music. The song is really catchy, the opening song, and then I think it's that season that the closing credits sort of song thing is this wild like alternate reality to this alternate reality where the kids are like in a RPG, like a D&D sort of setting, and it's, I don't know, you should watch it basically, but it's a heartwarming show, so otherwise lighthearted and silly, but you really get attached to the characters, and I'll just summarize my sort of like emotional roller coaster that I went on by saying, if there was a way if that website does the dogdie.com, if you can go and look up the movie that you're watching to see if the dog dies. If there were a way on there to look up every single one of your favorite characters, you would find that they do not die. they do not die. And it's I feel like that's a little bit of a it's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's also a little bit of a at some point, like I figured that out, like second season-ish. I was like, okay, hang on, don't die. Oh no, my connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. Oh no. Okay, well, that went away, so maybe I'm still there. Hard to know. Anyway, Boku no Hero Academia. Would recommend. That was what I first watched. The second thing I watched, what was it? I'm not going to remember this, but I forgot. I tried to get into a lot of things. I tried to watch Daria. It's on Hulu. I tried to watch. I tried to catch up on Stranger Things. I tried to. I feel like there was something else in there that we watched for a little while. I don't know. I tried to like come back and watch a bunch of things, but I just don't have like I will sit on how I do it. I generally like switch up the things that I'm doing. Like I'll play video games and then I'll watch one show and then watch another show. I don't know. I used to binge watch TV all the time, but especially on Netflix, but I haven't done that since the first season of Stranger Things. I think that was the last thing I binge watched. I think. Anyway. My connection is unstable. I don't understand. My internet is fine. My internet is always a little bit weird in the morning, so am I on the right internet? Yeah. I don't know how I would I be on my neighbor's internet. It's just not very good right now. But it's not usually this way. So usually I can watch whatever I want. So what I'm watching right now, let's just skip ahead to there's a little fruit fly that I'm trying to catch on my computer, but I can't. That's why I'm like, what are we watching right now? We just got into this over the weekend, I think, maybe a little bit earlier, last week. I got it. I got the fruit fly. It's a TV show. It's a British TV show called Taskmaster. I have a very hard time saying that. Taskmaster. Instead of, I always want to say Taskmaster or Taskmaster. I just can't with the different sibling fricatives. But Greg Davies, he's a British comedian, and he is the host, along with a guy, Alex something, who is the showrunner, I'm pretty sure. If there's a showrunner in one of these. I don't know what it's called. Greg Davies, Alex Horn. Okay, so the second thing on there is fan fiction, and I find that hilarious because it's so funny. Alex Horn is the guy, and I'm pretty sure Alex Horn, Taskmaster. Oh, there's a book. I'm fairly certain he's the creator. He's not the director or anything, but he's the creator, Alex Horn. And it's been going since 2015. And what it is, it's silly game shows like the British, like only the British do. The British are like the kings and queens of doing comedian-based game shows. It's not a popular thing for the US to do, which is fine. It's sort of like if you took Jimmy Fallon's the game portion of the various things he does in the games that he does in his late night show, and turn it into a country, you'd get British television. So the Taskmaster is Greg Davies, ostensibly. He is called the Taskmaster, and he creates tasks for different comedians to do. For over a season, they called them series. They call it a series when it's a season. It's just like the translation of their understanding of the words, I guess. I don't know. So for a whole series, there will be one set of 5 British comedians, and they will do these tasks that Greg Davies has them do. And then for every episode of the series, they come back and they watch like 4 of the tasks that they've done. So they don't know how the other people have done. They just do them themselves and get it who's going to win. Like, did you do it the fastest? Did you fit the most in the bag? Did you I mean, most of the time the measurement is like, does the Taskmaster like it the best? Which those aren't my favorite ones, because the Taskmaster does not agree with me most of the time. But he's also doing it for laughs, so it's less about what he actually wants and what he thinks, and also more about what he thinks it would be funny. And so the tasks are things like eat this whole watermelon in under a minute, and whoever eats the most watermelon wins. Like that sort of thing. And well, that sort of thing makes it sound like it's all about like eating, and that sounds very American. There's also like 2 people holding hands have to make a bed. There's also a hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil thing, where one person was blindfolded, one person had huge headphones on and earplugs in, and one person just wasn't allowed to speak. And they had to get something and they were like a football field's length apart, and they had to get something that the first person had all the way to the third person, but only the third person knew what that thing was. It was sort of a puzzle. One we watched last night was there was like this row of balloons on a wire, and they just had to pop them. So they some people just like went in it and just like started biting the balloons. They just like ran down the line biting the balloons. Some people went into like the house that they were at and got like a knife or a corkscrew or something and started like slashing at the balloons. One guy tried to take all the balloons down and put them in a bag so he could pop them. And one, I think that pretty much breaks it all down. But the thing was, the balloons were like little, round balloons and then long balloons, and they had written out in Morse code, pop 2 to win. So pop 2 balloons to win. And one guy knew that it was Morse code, but he did not try to read it, so he did not do that, and it was funny. I don't know. I just like ruined the joke. Into funny things right now. B, it's a competition, which is always really interesting because when comedians get competitive, the connection is unstable again. When comedians get competitive, there's like usually a line that they just walk up to and just like stare hard at, but they do not cross because they want it to stay funny. And that line is like, I need to win and I will do anything to win. And then there's always at least one person who just does not feel comfortable doing that, and so they just slack off the whole time. And or that's like I don't know these comedians well enough to know like what their style is. I think that at least a couple of them, their style is like, I do not try hard. I do not I'm lazy. So their style of competing was often very lazy. But sometimes that's not bad, because sometimes being lazy means like using lateral, a weird way of doing something that otherwise someone would just do a regular way. And that sometimes coming up with the weird way of doing it makes you win. So that's happened a couple times. Anyway, it's funny because I feel like comedians in the US, a lot of them know each other. I mean, that's probably true in the US, in the UK. I'm pretty sure that's true in the US too, but on shows like what the kind that they have in the UK, when there's a ton of there's just so many shows where What I Lie to You is another good one. That's also on YouTube, but like Taskmaster, all of it is on YouTube. Like the whole episode is on YouTube. And What I Lie, they usually just have clips. They used to have the full episodes, but I haven't been able to find them lately. And in those shows, they just have 5 comedians getting together, and they're constantly making jokes at each other's expense. They like talk about each other's children like they know them. It's just like clear that they're friends and that they spend time outside of this together, and it's sort of fun to see that chemistry on a TV show. Nice and lukewarm. Well, it's still warm. Anyway, that's what we've been watching. We're on season 3, series 3. And there are a couple of things that I'm not a huge fan of on the show. One is they sort of like they have like this quota that they fill so far since that we've seen series 1, 2, and 3. There is one person of color who is usually a man, and there is one white woman, and then the rest of the 5 are white guys. And I don't know how much that would bother me, except that it feels so clearly they did that on purpose. They're like, oh, we can't have all white guys. Well, I guess we'll throw a woman in there. Oh yeah, we should probably throw somebody else who's not white. And that's a bummer to me that's sort of how things went. I'm glad that they do it. I'm glad that they don't just have 5 white guys on there, because the white guys are hard to keep apart. I don't remember their names generally. And they I don't know. I don't know if it's because they come from similar backgrounds. Maybe some of them are from the same like area, town, and everything. But they often come up with the same sort of idea of how to solve a puzzle, and that's boring to watch. So I appreciate that they at least have a quota system. I wish there are some really good. I just know from watching these other shows, there are some really good non-white male, non-cis het white male comedians in Britain, and I guess I just wish that they would sort of dig into that well a little bit deeper. But I'm only on series 3, so maybe that changes. I don't know. If you've seen further, you'll have to tell me. That's really all I've been watching. We watch, like I said, we watch at least an episode a night. And it's funny. It's an enjoyable TV show. It's free. It's on YouTube. 11 p.m., so I don't get ads. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. And I've got quite a busy day at work today, so I should probably go. It's been a joy and a dream. If you have not already, make sure you respond to my poll. I have memorized the URL for this, which is sort of sad, I think. But I also didn't remember this until looking at it, that I've had this account, this Poll Everywhere account, since I was a student teacher. So I've got some things on here from when I was a student teacher. And unsurprisingly, not a lot, because it wasn't something I thought it was super cool, but my students did not. They thought it was lame, and they were probably right, if I'm being honest. So, but yes, it's been a joy to dream. Don't forget to tell me who I should write a thank you note to tomorrow. Can't believe tomorrow's Thursday, but it is. And enjoy your Wednesday. Make good choices. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. And tip all the people who are helping you get through this world, this wild world. Tip extra when you can.